another video. If my face is a little shiny, I just got back from my walk. We on week 2. We getting it. We are getting it. Week 2, walking every day, no sodas, limited carbs. So we gonna get this. So I've been watching Adrianne Slay's videos for the past all week. I'm not doing a video every day on every single video that she does, but she posed a question in one of her videos. Why do people use her for content in this sector? Now, Adrianne, you know that people use you for content because you're entertaining. And it's not always entertaining in a good way. Most people, the majority of people that use Adrianne for content are just normal people. They're not living the same life that Adrianne is living. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm just a normal person. I live in a normal community. I'm married to a normal husband who works a normal job. Half of the things that Adrianne, the majority of things that Adrianne has done in her life, I've never done. I will never have that experience. You know, it's like you on the freeway. The traffic has slowed down. So you know it's an accident. You know it is because the traffic then got super slow. You see the lights flashing ahead, so you know it's an accident, and you figure it's a bad one. You don't want to look, especially if you think it's a bad accident, but you have to. That's Adrianne for me. I know that Adrianne's life is a mess, but I still want to look at it. You're entertaining. You're like you're like a show. We never know what you're going to do next. So we have to talk about you, girl. Plus, you like the attention. You love it. Because obviously, you're looking around at channels to see who's talking about you. You know who's talking about you. So you're obviously watching the people to see what they're talking about. Because you're saying that people are saying that, you're not interesting. I mean, and there are some of your videos that are just, they're just plain. You're really not doing anything. I'm not going to say you're not interesting because you are interesting. We want to see what you're going to do from one day to the next. I'm not hoping anything bad for you, but your content is interesting. I'm sad that the little boat situation didn't work out for you. Like, I was really hoping that the boat would work out and you would get out on the water and we would see some interesting content from the boat. You are no different than Real Housewives of Atlanta or any of these other shows that people watch. Your budget is just lower. If you had more money, you had more resources, you would be more interesting. This a low budget show. And people like you. There are people out here who legit like you. I'm one of those people. And I try to not bring out all of the, I try not to point out all of the negative things because everything that you do is not negative. You are entertaining. Girl, let these people talk about you because they bring attention to your channel. Now, are there some people who go too far? Yeah, there are some people who be out here doing too much. They know who they are. They do too much. The only problem that, I see is people taking your paid content, taking your content that you want people to pay for, like your content from Patreon, and bringing it to YouTube, because then that does take money out of your pocket, because that's the content that you want people to pay for. That's the only problem I see. But I don't think watching you and doing reviews on you is any different from people doing reviews on other shows. Oh, and you saying that, people should pay you. That people are not making that much money off of you, Adrianne. Let's keep it 100. They're not making that much money. Not enough money to put money in their pocket, because people make these videos, they're editing. Some people they're editing the videos, so that's taking their time. So why would they take a little bit of change and send you a little bit of change? When people do reviews of movies, or Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, when they do those reviews, they don't pay the show, because that's free promotion for the show. So you're getting promoted. People are still coming to your channel. Well, who is this Adrianne? Because that's how I found you, from someone else talking about you in their video. And I was like, okay, now who is this lady? Let me go find her. And I started watching. So, girl, I think you should, just ride this train, because you're not going to always be popular. Nobody is. Not just you. Nobody. No one is going to, eventually, nobody is going to be looking at you. No one's going to be watching. So ride this train, do your content, eat your food, and let people do what they're going to do, because you can't stop people from talking about you. You can't stop people from making videos about you. That's part of this whole YouTube culture. That's how the culture of YouTube, the framework of YouTube is set up. And I want to talk about one other thing, and that is grief. Today, I don't know what happened, but just out of nowhere, I have felt this just overwhelming feeling of grief. My mother passed in 2011, and so I did a whole year of grief therapy. And there are days when I feel fine. But today, after I finished my walk, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I don't know why. I mean, I know around the full moon, a lot of people who, have strong energies towards that, a lot of things will come up. And I guess grief must have been one of those things that just reared its head and literally almost took me out today. It legit hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, it hit me harder than the actual date of her funeral. Like, it hit me so hard, I felt like my legs were not going to work. Grief is so serious. And the thing with grief is, you never know when it's going to hit you, just out of the clear blue. And it's funny, because my mother was not the type of person that wanted you to be grieving and crying and falling out at her funeral. She was very specific about that. She was like, I lived a good life. Like, my mother, when she passed, she was 93 years old. She always said, I lived a good life. There's no reason for, you or the family to fall out at my funeral. You were a good child. You never caused me any problems. I never had to, go to the jailhouse to bail you out. I was a good student. I did very well in school. I never You know, I never gave her any problems. And she always told me how happy she was that I was her child. I was her only child. And she always said, when I pass, I'm going to be with daddy, which was her husband, because he passed first. She was like, I'm going to be with him and I'm going to be fine. She was like, you have your kids. I want you to raise your kids. I want you to be happy. I don't want you to, to mourn me and to be grieving, because that's selfish. It's selfish of me when I leave here to want you to be hurt. So I was just like, where's this coming from? Like, I'm sitting here about to cry, y'all, seriously. Where's this coming from? But I'm going to just have to, sit in it today and process it, because I can't push it back down, because it's literally at the surface. So grief is real, and you never know when it's going to come to the surface. So it came to the surface for me today. I'm gonna have to tell my husband so he can give me some, good energy, some love energy, or I may have to go to the cemetery and, talk to my mom, because where she's buried is not too far from where we live, fortunately. So I can go over and visit and sit and talk with her for a while. And that was the thing too. She was like, and don't be running out here to this cemetery, because I'm gone. I'm gone to be with the Lord. My mother was very Christian. Don't be running out here to this cemetery to see me. But I may have to go and see her, because I haven't been in a while, because cemeteries are just overwhelming for me. The energy is just too strong. It's so overwhelming. So I don't like going that often. So that's it, y'all. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live today, because my energy is just not. And I know the slightest thing someone says, people have a tendency where your energy is not vibing like it should be. It's always going to be that one person to come and tip you over the edge. And I'm just not for that today. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you. Adrianne, don't worry about these damn people. Girl, let these people talk. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.